What is up, guys? This is me and Travis. This is our first episode of our podcast. I don't know if we have a name. Do we have a name?
No, not
No.
yet. No,
Okay.
no way.
Okay. We'll workshop that. But yeah, I'm excited. This is fun.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time. We're home a lot. We're talking a lot, me and you, and we're like, you know what the world needs more right now? It needs another podcast from two white guys. I think that it's really been interesting in our
half
point of view.
Chinese, half Chinese, half Chinese.
Half Chinese. So
Okay.
you do bring a unique.
Yeah, I'm like Bobby Lee, if you know who that is.
I don't. So you can be the next big half Chinese guy. You can be the big
The half Chinese guy. I don't think there's any half Chinese people who are famous. I can't think of one.
Bobby Lee.
I think he's full Chinese.
Okay, well then, yeah, you and Manly. But I mean, yeah, we just talk a lot, and I was thinking like, this just be a fun way to really like, essentially like video audio diary, I guess. And I'm not sure if anyone's gonna listen to this, but if you are listening to this, hey, hi, hello, welcome, and
Yeah, I don't have any illusions that people will listen to this.
no, but I think
you
we
know.
can look back on it in a couple years and be like, well,
Like, wow.
we did that, we threw our
Yeah,
head in
we
that
did
ring.
it.
So. But so
It was fun,
on the
though.
off chance that anybody chooses to listen to this, because I've had a couple friends, I'll be playing Destiny with them, and they're like, "Oh, dude, if you do that, let me know." And I tell them, I'm like, you don't want to listen to this, but if any of y'all are here, hey, welcome. And why don't you want to just, I don't know, even in the sense that this is like a audio diary or something, or even just like a little time capsule of where we are right now. Do you want to, I guess, just tell me where you are right now in your life, Ewan?
Where? Oh, okay. Well, physically, I'm in Salt Lake City. It's Saturday night.
Okay, no,
I
maybe
wanna
not
say April. I'm just
that.
kidding. I know. You're like not that literal. No. Okay.
Like,
I
I'm
hear
sitting
you, I hear you.
I'm sitting at my desk.
I'm currently alone. I cried a few seconds ago. No.
The aloneness is perpetual.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Okay. So let me just. I guess this is for future me, really. Okay, future Ewan. I'm 19 years old. I am a college student, sadly, and I like to think I'm an actor. I mean, would you call me an actor?
You do acting jobs, so I mean,
That's
by
true.
definition,
Does that
you're
count?
an actor. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's currently where I'm at. I'm not like a good actor, but I am one technically. So anyway, what about you? What about you?
So I'm hey future Travis. Maybe you have kids at this point, and hey future Travis's kids that are really just watching this to maybe laugh at me. But I'm in Austin. I'm at my desk with a Major Melon Mountain Dew. These things are strangely like bad, but I can't stop drinking them. And I'm 26, regrettably, because I haven't really done much with my life up to this point. But now I'm doing a podcast. Maybe that will be my claim to fame. And I guess I'm working at a school right now. I love my job. I love working with the kids and stuff. But hopefully they just pay me more. That's really all that I'm hoping for from life. And I'm in Austin with Kelly. That's really who I am. I'm Kelly's husband more than anything, because more than I'm proud of myself, I'm always like, yo, but my wife's freaking cool. Like, y'all should meet my wife.
You guys know I'm married, by the way. I'm not married. He is.
I'm that guy. Have I
Something
mentioned I'm
something
married?
you said. I didn't mention I'm married. Something you said to me though. I was thinking about it because before we started, you were like, "I'm a little nervous," right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it. I was like, because when I'm on set, it's like I'm in front of a camera, right? But there's
Actor, by
like
the way.
10. Yeah, I'm an actor, so there's like 10 people behind the camera, and I was like, that makes me nervous a little bit thinking about, like, if you don't think about it, it's not like doesn't make me nervous, but like the fact that there is people watching, like,
Yeah.
adds a layer. I think.
They're like just staring at you, hoping that you do a good job.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, like our jobs are for you to not, I don't know, not be bad.
Yeah. Yeah, on the flip side, it's just me and you sitting here, so no one's really watching us. But
You know what I mean, though.
no, I'm saying it's like it's funny that I'm still
What?
nervous because I have such
Mocking
no,
me?
no, I'm not.
You're like,
I'm
"All right, well,
agreeing with
no
you
one's
because
watching us, but
I
get
am
off your high
I'm
horse."
so like stage shy and stuff. That like there's
You
no
get stage
way.
fright?
Oh yeah, like there's no way that I could
Really?
do. With people just sitting there pointing cameras at me, especially, I think I'd just piss myself. That's about it.
Well, I know what your problem is, man. Your ego's not big enough. Because my ego's huge, so it's like I like the attention. I'm an attention whore.
Yeah, I could see that. I just need to. I guess, get an ego, and then I'll be good. Maybe. But so I guess to follow the audio diary time capsule type thing, I'll tell future me where we're at right now, and where we're at right now is to say the least kind of shit. We've got COVID running rampant. COVID is chilling and going strong, and then we've got just all the political drama and race
Don't forget the
issues that go
Pentagon.
on,
They were like, oh, the aliens. Like, did you see the new alien thing?
yeah, the like pyramid ships.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, Destiny just keeps being accurate.
Don't make this about Destiny.
Dude, you're gonna tell me this isn't about Destiny? Okay, we're finding sea creatures underneath the ice of Europa. Okay, Destiny. We saw an orb pass over Mars. Okay, Destiny.
When did we see that?
It was
When did that
a
happen?
couple months ago. There was like a shadow that went over Mars, and now it's probably just like camera distortion or something. But it happened, and the like alien conspiracy theories freaked out, and now we're seeing triangle ships. You can't tell me this isn't Destiny. Like, I'm sorry,
Okay, I'm sorry. God damn. All right.
but also not
wait,
to
when you
mention I
said
have a
something-
golden gun. I threw a throwing knife at someone's face. Like
You're like that's separate, but
these are
you're like that was weird.
these were long ago. Okay.
You looking at your Glock like spray painted gold in your corner of your room.
It's just a
You're
Nerf
like, yeah, it's
gun.
gold.
It's just a Nerf gun, and I'm just
You're like, I
I'm
shot
just,
Kelly.
I'm just a sad man. But
But
so yeah, all that's
no.
going on right now.
hold on real quick. When you said something about stage fright, I was thinking, I just reminded me, in middle school, they like picked me from the crowd to go up on stage and do like the stupid teacher thing. Like they do like the little events with the teachers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I had to spray my teacher in the face with shaving cream in front of like 1,000 kids. And I just like, I don't know why that spark of you saying that like just flashed me. It was like back. I was like,
Wow, that's quite a
back in
noise.
middle school year.
That's your time hole noise?
Yeah, the noise was like, and then I was like back in middle school.
I would hate to live your life, man. Anytime that you have a flashback, you have to hear that. That's
I hear like guck noises.
yeah, that's regrettable. Well, I remember similarly, middle school, I got called up to do something with the teacher, but it was like I was playing basketball against the teacher, and you've played basketball with me. I'm not very good at all. And so I just like
Dude, you're better than me, and I'm like a foot taller than you somehow.
well, I was just like nervous because in middle school I still wanted to go to high school and play basketball, even though I never in a million years could have done that. But so I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to go to this rally. Everyone's gonna watch me play basketball. And so I remember going down to do the basketball thing. I'm so nervous, and the fire alarm goes off, so I didn't have to do it.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, true story.
Actually?
Yeah, true story. Yeah.
Who pulled it? Who pulled it?
No, I don't know, but we just had leave. That's all that I know.
Would you say that's like
God,
divine
yeah, I think
intervention?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. God pulled that fire alarm for me. He got me. I just took a big old swig of the dew, and I'm curious when I listen back to this if I'm gonna hear like glug 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 glug. But
Anything? So,
okay,
imagine.
that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping it would be a little Easter egg.
dude, this blue moon.
Yeah.
I can't do it, man. It's like it like hurts my stomach.
We'll put it down there.
I have a I know, but like, it's just I don't like the taste. Which I know someone's looking at me like, "Oh, he's a little baby." You
well,
know?
no one likes the
I would-
taste.
I know, but I feel like I'm like my palate sensitive enough that like I want something in my mouth that doesn't taste bad. So I have like a guava chaser with a beer, which is so depressing.
No comment. I choose not to comment.
There's only two of us. You can't just not comment.
Okay, well, my comment is I don't drink much, so I can't really. I
Can't really relate.
Yeah, I can't really relate. But that does just feel weak. Maybe is the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Fair enough.
But so, what do you want? What are we talking about on our inaugural show?
What are you talking about? Well, I think what we decided was the first 30 minutes were going to be like not personal stuff, just random stuff. I mean, like life
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last 20 to 30 minutes we talk about games. Our favorite, we kick a game of the week, right?
Yeah, I'm all into picking a game of the week, and so if you are someone that's listening right now and you want to come back, into a future episode, first off, I applaud you, and like I'm proud of you for taking this kind of pain for us. But secondly, each week you can anticipate to hear about an older game. We're thinking like PS3 and earlier type era, PS3, Xbox 360, which is kind of crazy to me to think of that as like
As old.
yeah, like as an older generation. But I mean, truly, like, freaking when did PS3 come out, man? I mean, the Xbox 360 came out while I was in like elementary school, man. So, oh man, wow.
I was 4 years old when that thing came out.
Oh my goodness.
I could barely read.
You could read at 4? I honestly don't think I could read at 4.
I don't know when I could read, honestly. I gotta ask my mom.
I don't think I ever learned.
Where am I?
But I mean, why am I not in college? I can't read. But
Why am I still here? Okay, I'm sorry.
bit of Metal Gear, bit of a teaser. But I mean, dude, yeah, you could talk about games like Metal Gear 4. We could talk about obviously Halo 3.
I never played Metal Gear 4.
But Nanobots.
Well, that's actually Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. So
We got Metal Gear,
4K for the PS3.
We got a Metal Gear.
Yeah, I know the
No,
lore.
Revengeance came
The
out
lore
on
lore.
Xbox 360. So.
I know. I'm saying 4 came out on 3.
Oh. Okay, I understand.
Oh, my head.
But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Some of these big games, say like Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo in general, could be considered like older games at this point. I mean, Halo 3 is over 10 years old, so I guess that is just like solidly an older game.
I mean, as shitty as it is, I feel like Master Chief Collection has really extended its life past 360.
Absolutely. I think,
Like,
yeah.
I think it being a PC helps a lot.
Yeah. But you know what, one game that we could technically talk about and it be like in that generation that
Don't you say Destiny?
no, I was gonna say Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my gosh.
Like
it's not,
an ongoing game that they're going to re-release on the PlayStation 5 technically falls into that
is it on? Well, it's not good. Is it on 5 yet? PS5?
No, they haven't made it.
I thought they said they're gonna bring it to next gen.
Well, they will, but it's
Or
just
this
not like updated yet. Which I'm just like,
Oh.
what kind of work does it take to update a PlayStation 3 game? You know, but
Oh,
but so anyway, we're only 13 minutes in, and you're already rolling and moaning and burping. So
well, you know what? Okay,
do you got anything else
okay.
about life talk you want to go into?
Life talk about? Sure, I can talk about myself for hours.
Let's hear it.
Well, today I got an argument. Not an argument. I got in a text fight with my agent
Ooh,
at work.
I know this agent
That was
sucks.
fun.
So what
I know. I
happened
was like, hey man, I want to leave, and he was like, well, your contract's non-binding. I'm like, cool, thanks. And then he sent me a list of reasons why I should stay. He's like, well, at least meet with me before you leave. I was like, fine, I'll meet with him. I'm meeting with him next Wednesday. I'll just be like, hey man, you got me 3 auditions. I got 3 like this week on my own. So, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, so if you get out of it, what's that like do for you? Oh, you don't have pay them any of your like earnings anymore, right?
Well, okay, it's not like I got paid from those. Like, out of those 3 auditions, I did get a job. It was that missionary movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a good movie. Like,
They never even paid you, right?
They didn't pay me, which is fine because now I have an IMDb page because of that movie. But like, give me my money.
I would bring that up
Like,
on your
what? I am. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm like, hey, you got me 3 auditions. I've been with you for 8 months. I've had, I think, and I feel like this is overestimating, but probably like 40 in the past, like 4 months.
Yeah. Well, and again, yeah, I'd be like, I did a job that was supposed to pay me $600, and I've never seen that money. What's going on there? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
That's I hope that goes well for you. What other auditions have you had going?
Trying to think. I got that cowboy one. I'm really excited about. Also, I don't mind talking about this. That miniseries I'm doing. I like texted the director and I was like, "Hey, is there any?" There's two directors. They're
Mm-hmm.
co-directors, and I was like, "Is there any movies or TV you want me to watch beforehand?" And I asked him this earlier, and he didn't reply. So I asked him again, and it feels like I'm giving more effort than they are, which is annoying because their project, and I'm. It's like almost like I'm carrying the project. Like, sure, it'd be fine, but like the writing's not good enough. Where if I don't perform on a high enough level, it's not going to be a quality product, in my opinion.
So help me remember real quick. Is this that movie that you were talking about?
It's the mini series, the mini series.
That
It's free. That I'm doing for free.
so okay. I thought you were doing a movie with that with your buddy director guy.
Yeah, yeah. The writer that I know.
Yeah, that's a
No,
movie.
it's
This
a
is something different.
it's a, no, it's that it's a mini series though, not a movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like a short film.
No, it's like 8 short films. They're like 15, 16 minutes an episode.
Oh, okay. So how much shooting would this take?
So shooting starts May 7th, and it takes 2 days probably for per episode, which is very like low shooting days. But pretty much an episode every 2 weeks is what they're planning.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd probably be like 2 months of work every other weekend, which isn't bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. That's a lot of free work.
Oh, I know. Yeah, if I didn't think this would be good, I think I'd back out. But I think, me and this other actor, my co-star, he's like a 30-year-old guy. We were talking, and I think, and he's a good actor too. Like he went to like the London Academy of Fine Arts, which is interesting because it's like, what are you doing in Utah, you know?
Yeah.
But
How did he
I
end up
think he
in
had
Utah?
like COVID and like a drug problem in New York. I don't know. It's not my place to say,
Okay.
but he is really. I think he's pretty talented. Like from what I've seen, like I think I want to be on set with him just so I can learn from him. Um, and I think me and him, we have the chops. I don't know about me. I'm not gonna like toot my own horn and think I'm good enough, but I think if I put in a lot of effort, it could turn out well enough that we might win some awards, and that would look good for me or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I don't know. It's fine. It is a lot of free work, but I think I just gotta accept that and be like, oh, you know. Um,
I mean, yeah. I guess you know the whole like pay your dues type thing.
yeah.
Well, and
Well, I talked
so
about myself way too much.
no, man.
You
I
talk about
like
yourself.
hearing. I really like hearing it. So if you're filming for 2 days every 2 weeks, essentially, um, this will end filming in like
Probably July.
yeah, okay. And then
July.
is this like being published on YouTube or something?
So they're gonna publish it on YouTube and send it to me. They're gonna um they're gonna go the festival route in the fall, and then after that, I don't know how this is gonna go. They're gonna try to get it on Netflix, which is whatever.
Who so you know the director somehow, right? Do you know him from another
So
gig or
so I went to high school with him, so I know him.
okay.
He's like an okay, like he's fine. The other director, she's a girl. She's like I think like 21 or 22. She's very young. Um, she I've never met her before, but she made a short film or like a not short, it's like 45, 50 minutes. Um, a horror movie, and she was talking to Netflix about putting it on there as well. So I think I have a little not high hopes, but I have like more. I don't know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's essentially what I was gonna ask. Like, what other like credentials do these people have? So that girl's like currently in talks with Netflix for her own film.
So yeah, she made a horror film like last summer, I want to say, and she said she was talking to Netflix about putting it on potentially, but that means they'd have to buy the rights, or they take the rights from her, which is that's something that you have to be okay with if you're the creator. But I'm not, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's
So
No, that's pretty cool. I think it's interesting seeing all the like inner workings of this, especially like sometimes these like smaller like festival type projects. You know, people, at least myself, sometimes I see them and I just think of them more as like borderline like fan projects. Like someone just was like, hey, I've got a long weekend, let's shoot something. You know, but it's like even like these smaller projects take literally months of just planning, not to mention even the actual shooting and work. Yeah
it's kind of like insane. 'Cause I think I definitely have the easiest job. You know, I memorize a few lines, I show up, I read, and then I leave.
I'm curious if this whole thing pans out and you get to watch it. I'd actually be interested in hearing how the like watching experience as someone who was like, you know, part of this whole months of process, how the like watching experience changes. And then actually also how the watching experience of like other similar things are, because it's like, you know, it's not a movie, so it's kind of different. But I'm even curious if someone who, once they've shot a bunch of movies, say just like Brad Pitt, I don't know, if he watches movies different just because like he knows of all the work that it takes in, that I almost wonder if he like doesn't like watching movies. But I don't know. Yeah.
I do. I actually, real quick, I hate watching myself. I have a huge. I really don't like watching myself, which is weird. I feel like.
I don't know. I can kind of get that because I think you've actually told me you like hearing your voice, but I hate hearing my voice. Like anytime that I hear my own voice, I'm like, wow, I sound like a loser. But so I almost wonder if it's kind of like that same type of thing.
Same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the first episode will be done. I think I filmed May 7th and 8th. It should be edited. It's not a huge editing task. I think it'll be done like May like 16th or 17th. I honestly don't know if they'll edit it first and then do it, and then they'll do the next episode, or they'll finish filming it all, then release it all.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got a burp. But they said they'll send me like whenever it's like initially finished, they'll send it to me privately. So I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'd honestly be interested in watching them. And dude, we should do like we should get like Jacob and Chad and some people. Owen, I'm serious here. We should like stream it, like all watch at the same time. Have a little watch party.
Oh, that'd be fun. I don't know if I want to be a part of that, but
no, I want you there, man. We got a star in the house.
We got
part of the project.
I don't know. I feel like I want to do good. I want to do, because I'm already putting a lot of time into this. If I put enough time, I really hope that it's good enough that I can like show it to people. I won't feel embarrassed, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a weird thing in my head. Maybe like I probably shouldn't be embarrassed of any of the work I do, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard because I don't know. Because anytime I go meet my family or I see people and they're like, "Oh, let me see the stuff you've done," and it's like that awkward like pause. I'm like, "Do you want me to look up like the 5 student films I've done, or do you want me to like pull up the missionary movie I've done?" You know?
Yeah. No, I get you. I mean, it sounds good, and this is actually one of the first things that you've done that you've sounded like excited about to me as well. You know, you've done a couple other things that you're like, this just sucked. Like I just know that already. And so I think even just the fact that you're excited about it gets me interested, honestly.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really excited for people to see it because I think there's a lot of like character stuff that goes into this that I don't want to talk about. I don't want to like
no. I'd be interested in seeing it even too, just raw.
But yeah, I would like to show it to people. I want to show it to my cousin, the writer at HBO.
I get you.
Because he when I talked to him, he said like, if you have any work you're proud of, show it to me. So I want something to show him, and I'm hoping this is good enough where I feel like I can.
Well, and even if it's something that you're mostly proud of, you could even just send it to him and be like, "Can you give me pointers too?" You know?
Yeah. I wanna. The crew. I know some of the crew as well. I've actually worked with a lot of these actors. It's bizarre because in Utah, it's such a small industry here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like read that like there's this he's like this weird guy, but it's Jason. Like I won't like say his full name, but I've worked with him once on a student film. But this guy has been in like he has he has like I want to say like 80 credits on IMDb.
Wow. This Jason guy that you're working with.
Yeah, and so he's in the movie as well. And I've worked with him on a zero budget student film as well. And I just think it's weird because he's been in the movie. You know who Danny Trejo is?
I don't.
He's like this Mexican actor. He's kind of famous, like kind of famous.
The name sounds familiar. Does he have like the longer hair?
Yeah, with the kids, like he did the Machete movie.
There we go. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I was like sitting there. I was like, yeah, I get you now.
So he's been in like I think he had like a substantial role in a Danny Trejo movie. So he's like a legit actor, and it's weird because he's like in Utah, and Utah's such a small industry that he's in this too, you know.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Utah's growing. Like, why is this London guy here and then this other guy? It's like it sounds like it's very much like you say, kind of a C tier, but it's like it's something. It's more than nothing, you know.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like the same like 10 people gunning for jobs, like guy wise.
Yeah.
Like I walked into the audition room, and I was like, I worked with him, I worked with him, I worked with him, I worked with him. Know her, I know him, I know her. I was like,
That's
and I don't like know them personally.
Yeah.
Like met them.
I don't know. I almost feel like that's kind of interesting too, just in the way that it's like, I don't know, like you know them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. If not, I think it's gonna be good for Utah standards. I think it'll gain some traction here, and then that's gonna be it. But
well, literally for a short project, you're not being paid, so it's obviously short project, small budget, and relatively not a ton of time work. Like over the course of the year, yeah, it like from start to finish, it's kind of a long line. But if it's only a couple meetings here and there, and then 2 days of shooting every couple weeks, that's not. I don't feel like that's terrible. And so even if just all those things considered, like it's something you're proud enough to watch yourself and show people, then I mean, I'd say that's a W.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it's just hard for me to swallow, or not swallow, just to tell people I'm not getting paid for it. It's kind of a weird thing for me because it makes it feel less legitimate in my mind a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the final project will speak for itself then. Just be like, I did this just because I love the craft, not for the money.
I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say?
Actually, if you think of that, let me know. But I was gonna say we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, and
oh yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say.
Oh, just shift, just
yeah.
But I mean, this is interesting. I'll be interested to hear about it each time that we film, even if there's each time that we record, if there's any developments there. But as for now, and especially for our first episode, I'm actually kind of surprised that we got 30 minutes of the life stuff. So hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But
wow.
and
I'm glad you let me talk and ramble for that long.
No, dude, I like hearing it. And I think it's interesting stuff. And
thanks for letting me know.
Again, just as like a little like time capsule journal, I think it could be really interesting for you at the start of like the relative start of your career. Come back and listen to this and just see what you were thinking, see what was going through your head,
That's pretty interesting. That's a good point.
It could be fun.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
All right, games.
Anyway, yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
We thought we'd talk about Modern Warfare 2 because I actually, Kelly, my wife, I'm married. Have I mentioned I'm married? Is up in Utah right now, seeing some friends, and she's camping. And so I've had so much time on my hands outside of work, and so I've been playing a lot of games. Been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves with Chad and Jacob, but I've also been wrapping up Modern Warfare 2 campaign. And so we just thought, hey, this is a great one to talk about since I just revisited it. And it's kind of funny because I was kind of thinking about like what makes this campaign great, because clearly so many people love it. I love it. I think it's great. And so I was like, what makes this campaign great? And it's kind of hard to tell because especially it is older now. It's over 10 years, I think. I'm pretty sure. I think it's actually coming up on 10 years this year. Okay, I'm looking
2012?
it up.
2012, I think, right?
let's see. Modern Warfare 2 release date. It was 2009. So we
That
are
was so awful.
so we are 11 years
Past the 10.
now, or coming up on 12 years. This year will be 12
Yeah.
years. And so and I was thinking about it. I was like, what makes this game great? Because now that 12 years has passed, replaying it, it's almost like this is kind of just like a bare bones shooter campaign. But thinking about, for one, the time, and also even today, just the campaign, I think one of the biggest things that replaying it I was taking away from it was kind of the scale. Like, I know that you were telling me it's been a long time since you've replayed this or played
Yeah.
it in general. So I don't know if you'll even remember these. But the mission where like the US is being invaded and you're in the underground is the Marines, and like you're just coming up and you see like the Capitol building and stuff being attacked. Dude, it was actually really cool. And like the size of it, I think the scale, like I'm saying, it felt like large scale warfare. And then the EMP mission, of course, awesome, great. Like, there was just some really great missions. And then the other point that I would look at as to why people like love the game and stuff was probably just like the relationships. Of course, everybody loves Soap, Price, like Ghost, Roach. And there's not really any other game that at least comes to my head besides, I'd say, ODST, mostly because I'm a massive Halo fan, and I guess Reach in the same sense. It's like where I know the entire squad, but Modern Warfare 2 is one of those games where I think like anyone that really played that game, you could tell them like, Ghost. They immediately know Ghost. They like know what kind of like character Ghost is and stuff. Roach,
Yeah.
okay, that's who you play as, so it's like not really much. Soap, everybody knows Soap. Everybody loves Soap. Price, everybody knows Price. Everybody loves Price. And so I just think that's interesting because I don't think that we really get those like bonds as much in games these days. And I know that we've talked about it, but I think the closest that has come is probably like BT and Anderson Cooper in Timefall 2. I think that they built a really good relationship between like AI.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't think it reaches the level of Call of Duty or Halo. But from what I remember, I think the last time I played it was when I was a kid. Modern Warfare 2 campaign.
Yeah.
I remember the desert mission at the end.
Yeah.
I also remember me and Jen were talking about it. No Russian. I think that was fun. Not fun. It's like interest. It's such an timepiece,
Yeah.
of like history. I feel like almost.
Yeah.
And
it was so controversial, obvioly.
Yeah.
Which was.
Owner.
I mean, I would say justly.
I'm like, I think it is. It's pretty bad. It's definitely pretty bad. But hear me out. But I think putting it in the game for the story, I think it worked. I liked the story impact of like the bad guy. I don't know, like the switch from original Modern Warfare where it was kind of contained. It was like secret,
Yeah.
And Modern Warfare 2 is like Capitol's being attacked.
That's an interesting look. Yeah, it's like Modern Warfare 1 was very contained in the sense that like the world wouldn't have really known about these missions. That is an interesting take. I haven't really even thought of that. Whereas, now these are headline events. Like an airport was shot up. The U.S. is being invaded. That's interesting. That's interesting.
So I don't know. Yeah,
I'd actually agree with you. I think in the context of the campaign, the No Russian mission actually does really well, because I remember when it came out thinking that is needless violence that is unnecessary, essentially. And replaying it, I was like, you know what? This is actually a really interesting like progressor of the story. The way the Russians like frame the Americans with this, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting. I also remember. I mean, I for one, I can't bring myself to shoot the citizens, like for real. And so maybe it's a little different for me because I was like, this was surprisingly shorter and less violent than I remember it. I mean, it's still violent. It's a mass
Pretty
shooting.
brutal. In
It's
my mind, it's
brutal and
like
it's
an hour
violent.
long.
But that's the thing. In my mind, I remember it being like a ridiculously long mission to the point that it's like emphasized how unnecessarily violent it was. But replaying
But in
it,
reality, it
yeah, I was like,
wasn't.
this was surprisingly shorter than I remember it, up until the point that the police invade. And I mean, you're
Uh,
still shooting police at this point, so it's like it's still in a sense they're not army men, it's not war, so it's different. But it's like
yeah, shooting
now,
back.
yeah, in terms of the game, they're shooting back at me, so it's like it makes me feel a little less terrible.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I don't know. Like, No Russian's so interesting. It's like, I mean, I, I don't know. I think it's weird because in movies and stuff, you're like allowed to show like the bar is pushed way far,
Yeah.
and I think books even further. But I feel like games get capped because you play as them, which I don't know if that's fair or not. Like, I obviously, yeah, like in some situations, like yes, but I wonder if like if it's part of like an artist's like vision and they're trying to convey a message, is it inherently wrong to have a mission like that? Do you think?
I think that's interesting. I actually would say because, of course, playing No Russian and playing Modern Warfare in general makes me think of the new Modern Warfare mission or game. And there's two kind of missions in that game that were more controversial. Um, I'm sure you know the
Which
ones
one
I'm
were
thinking
they?
of. The house breach,
Okay. Well,
that
yeah.
one's interesting. And then the when you play as the kid mission and the guy's like chasing you around the house and you got the screwdriver. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember what you're talking about.
And so in let's com- let me compare those two real quick because I think No Russian is much better in the sense that it's kind of edgy, but yeah, it's like the world's kind of raw. Stories are told in a raw way. There's much
Mhm.
worse storytelling out there, but and so I think No Russian actually is like I'm not gonna say it's a fine mission. Like there's no reason to not be offended by it because it is a little more raw and it's a
Definitely very
little
offensive. Yeah.
yeah. But I think in the sense of like progressing the story and stuff, it does it in a better way at least than these newer ones because the house breach mission, I have really some like mixed feelings on that one. The just because it's very forced. In No Russian, you cannot shoot a single civilian. But in that house
Yeah.
mission, there's a woman that dives for a gun and
You have to shoot her.
exactly. And so it's like I'm sure this is a real world thing. Like soldiers have to shoot a citizen if they're coming at you with a gun or something. But I don't know. It's like I don't feel like that progresses the story. That right there wasn't necessary. And I know that there is a lot of narrative in the Modern Warfare thing where they're like
Mhm.
soldiers don't have choices and they just have to make these decisions because they're kind of forced to. But I feel like it was so like it wasn't the point of the game. It was kind of forced. And even though like even if I'm agreeing with those narratives or not, like it didn't need to be in the game, if that makes any sense. And
Yeah,
so
I think. Oh, sorry.
so I don't think that that's like a better way to do it because you were very like funneled into making these choices that you don't want to make. And sure, maybe that's even them kind of making that point. They're like, these people don't want to do that. And then the child one, I would say, again, like, I think that one's closer on the like things can be raw and things can be tough to see in a sense. But I think that one is an example of this went too long. That mission was long,
Oh
dude.
my! Did I play that on the hardest,
Yeah,
whatever
the
the realism
realism thing.
difficulty?
Yeah.
That took forever. That took so long.
And maybe that was say like the artistic vision, like make you almost uncomfortable with how long it's been. But like, dude, that
Mhm.
mission was long to the point that it felt exhausted. And so I think that at that point you're kind of missing your like narrative piece, and instead you were just being
It felt
controversial.
more like a game. I felt like a gameplay change more than a narrative change for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It was
true
like
too because even
that's what it
though
felt
you're
like.
supposed to be like scared as a child and like children are threatened in war and stuff. It just felt um honestly it felt too like it felt too much like a game. Like does that make any
They had too
sense?
many mechanics. No, no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They had like, oh, you have to sneak around. You have to use the knife. You can't shoot, or it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's a stealth section. It felt like a section of a game.
Exactly. Like it
It
was a
was. Essentially
game
was.
more than a narrative. And so
Yeah.
to make something that could be a raw and tough narrative piece and instead make it a game, I feel like you've thrown away the narrative and it's no longer necessary. And so
Yeah.
to bring it all the way back, No Russian got a lot of hate and a lot of news, but I think revisiting
better.
it, it's not as bad as I remember it being. I think that it pushes the story way better than other like controversial items that have happened in gaming as of late. And I'm also just curious, does that mean that we've actually just like become more used to these terrible things happening, or was it just blown all out of the water? And I don't know. I'm not sure if I could even really like definitively say, because it's like I
I don't know
also
if I could
was
either.
12
Or
years
just-
younger then, you know, so I was a kid. Maybe I just like I just thought it was, I don't know, insane. But
Well, no, I think it was a big deal. I mean, it's the big deal as if like like Mortal Kombat was a big deal mid '80s.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I think the
it's just, like, it's
news
funny to
definitely
like,
made it a big deal. Like the news made it a big deal. That's for sure. I remember that all the way. And I mean the game even gives you the option to skip it because they're like everyone hates this, I guess. But and so I know that like it was like a big deal in that sense, but I'm almost wondering if like anyone that say a 26-year-old like me that's been playing games for years, if they were playing Modern Warfare back in 2009, if they felt any like problems with that mission, at least beyond what I'm feeling. But anyway,
I don't know. Well, I actually just real quick before we move on, I want to touch on the point that I think the first mission in the new Modern Warfare, I think it's bad. Like the one in the house, whatever the house one.
oh yeah.
I think it's really bad. For one, it feels forced. For two, it takes away all your player agency. Like if you like, you're right. Like if you don't kill someone that has a gun, like you have to kill people with a gun. You if you like even like accidentally shoot like a lady or a guy that doesn't have a gun, you get like the mission restarts. Which I think takes away like the oh, these are like you have to make decisions on the fly. You know, like you're a soldier. Like no one, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which I think No Russian kind of had. And yeah, it just felt forced. That's all I want to say. But
No, yeah.
going back to your, oh sorry,
I was just saying, yeah, I'd agree with those points. But keep going.
back to like how we would feel now. I think honestly, it's like back then. I don't gaming's not as big as it is now. I think there's too much money involved
Oh, yeah.
that it's like they can't risk doing that kind of thing anymore, like to that extent.
Absolutely. But at the same time, you know, I think of that Modern Warfare. It's no secret. I love the new Modern Warfare. Like, I think it was
Very, very good.
it was so and I hadn't liked Call of Duties in a while. And it was such a good refresh, and it felt like Modern Warfare how I remembered it, in the sense that like it has very much evolved. If I was playing, I've even played Modern Warfare 2, like the like multiplayer in the past year, and it doesn't hold up in the
Does not
same way
hold up.
that we remember it. Yeah, exactly. But like I feel like I had the same like kind of like, I don't know. It feels like, you know those memes where they like how you think you remember the PS1 game looking, and it's like this really like really cool thing, and then it's like how it actually looked, and it's jagged as crap because it's a PS1 game. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what this game was. It's how I remember Modern Warfare 2 feeling and playing, even though it was like
Oh, for sure.
completely different. And so it's like it evolved well with the time. So I love that game. And I think it got a ton of pre-orders because it looked amazing. It's on this new engine. It was so good. And so that helped its sales. But I think they actually took a note from No Russian and used these controversial missions to also generate stories about them. Any press is good press, you know.
That's Yeah, I think they did that for yeah, because like I remember thinking I was like I saw like the press for the house level, and I was like, oh crap, like we have another No Russian on our hands. And I played it, and I was like, there's nowhere near as bad as No Russian.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, there's
Um,
also the part where you're like interrogating the one guy, and Price is
oh
like,
yeah,
"You wanted the gloves off, well they're off or whatever," and so you bring in like his family. I felt like there was a lot of things in this game that were. The game was at
forced.
odds with itself. It wanted to tell
Yeah,
this story of like soldiers are heroes, but it also was like, look at all these kind of like shady parts of war, and it's like, well, both of these can be like narratives. I feel like you need to pick one. Like you either need to do Spec Ops: The Line or Call of Duty, but you can't do both of them. You know, um, and so
yeah. The fact,
I think it was just really at odds with itself. It would continually try to be like edgy with like that mission, and I don't know, even just the Piccadilly Square mission. Like I feel like there's so many missions in that game. Even the like what's her name? Farah break out of the prison mission and that interrogation too. There was so many moments in this game that felt like
forced.
yeah, like it
I would
wanted to
say.
be like controversial and edgy, but it just felt forced because it still felt like a game more than a story. But I don't know. And also, I guess this discussion was supposed to be about Modern Warfare 2, but it's been a lot
Yeah.
about Modern Warfare 2019, which I like both games.
Right. Well, I think it's funny because you bring up the family interrogation. I forgot about that. I remember I was playing. I was like, all right, let me just get this over with, and just shot him. I was like, okay, next level. It's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't know. Spec Ops: The Line's good because it's not.
It sticks
I
to
don't know.
what it
It's a
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I
It
go
takes
from
it.
like shooting like down a helicopter with an M16, like in one mission, you know, and now the next it's supposed to be this really grounded. We found his family and they're in the back of the van. Do you want in or not? And it's like it just
Okay.
yeah, it just feels so at odds with itself. And also even like the clean house mission, it
Yeah.
it feels too on rails to feel weighted, you know. And I love that mission in the sense that it looks really cool. It really shows off their like night vision tech that they made for the game, but I
That was
also
fun.
feel like it's very yeah force, and it's like an on rails ride of come look at this, I'm making you look at this, but it also is a game that you can't take like any real narrative from. And so I don't know.
I think I remember I was talking. I was just like, I don't know what it was. The point I'm trying to make before I mumble through this is Spec Ops: The Line. Its world services the story. Like it's like Dubai, but it's like apocalyptic kind of Dubai.
Hmm.
Like there's like gangs and stuff, or whatever.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Um, Black Ops or Call of Modern Warfare is like, oh, it's just like normal world, and it's like, which is fine, but like it doesn't really put you in the mindset of like I don't know of like if they're trying to do the psychological stuff.
No, yeah, and I'd agree that Spec Ops: The Line, the world does service its story very well in the sense that you are always kind of reminded of this like hellish landscape you're in and stuff. Whereas again, it's like I just went from shooting down like like hundreds of enemies are running at me and I'm killing all of them with my turret that's also on fire and I just shot it down a helicopter with an
Also,
M16.
infinite ammo.
Exactly. Like all these kind of like Call of Duty arcade shooter type things, but then it goes, okay, cutscene time. Now we're serious. And so it's so hard to be grounded in like it's basic storytelling. You want to like set your audience's like expectations and set the stage. And they set the stage for a Call of Duty adventure, but then they try to tell the story of like a Spec Ops: The Line, and it's like this just doesn't work. And then the last thing I'd say is I feel like it really like the nail in the coffin was, you know,
Yeah.
they down the line they introduced Warzone and they're like we're continuing the Modern Warfare like story through Warzone, and it was so just
Oh,
like bad and like our cartoonish and stuff. It's like Alex at the very end of the game supposedly like dies because he's like I've been told by the U.S. Army
I
my
remember
whole
that.
life to like, you know, where to be, shoot this, what to
Mhm.
do. I want to do something for myself. And then he shows up with like a prosthetic leg and he's like, it's go time. I don't know. Everything just feels very like Call of Duty, you know?
Yeah, they want if they want to do the psychological thinking, they gotta leave behind the Call of Duty moniker, which is it's like I don't know if they should do that
I think another
or
thing that
not.
helps Spec Ops: The Line, especially because they kind of try to tell the same, like, what is the mortality, like, are we actually the good guys type thing.
Oh my God.
And so I think something that helps Spec Ops: The Line there is it's way more sandbox game, whereas this game Modern Warfare is way more like on rails.
Yeah, I agree. Unreal's it's harder for player choice.
Yeah.
Um,
But
real quick
so,
though, sorry.
oh, you
Oh,
go,
sorry.
you
What
go.
are you gonna say? I was gonna say real quick. Jake Paul won the fight, so
Oh,
that
who I
hurts.
didn't even know he was fighting.
Ben Askren, it was like UFC versus boxers, and then everyone, it just hurts.
Is he like
It
an
just hurts.
actual
Anyway,
boxer now then?
yes, because everyone's like, if he doesn't win this, and like he can go back to YouTube and be like a punk bitch, and then
He's
he
just
won.
boxing
So
and he's a punk bitch.
that's pain. Anyway, sorry to derail. I just had to throw that
Well,
out
no,
there
I
real quick.
mean, I was just gonna say, let's go ahead and maybe wrap this up. So, if you want to give any closing thoughts on Modern Warfare 2, or I guess since we went so into it,
Yeah,
Modern Warfare 2019,
I
and
don't
I'll
know. They
do the
like
same, and
switched.
we'll yeah, I'll do the same, and I think that's actually something that I hope that we
I
can do
enjoy.
is kind of like compare these games to games of today. I guess anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and
Um.
closing thoughts.
Oh yeah, I'll close it up. I don't know. I think Modern Warfare 2 did the campaign better than Modern Warfare 1, or renew Modern Warfare. It's just too flashy, too on rails for my taste. I know Modern Warfare 2 is as well, but it's like they do it. They walk that line so fine, and they actually are able to pull it off. I just didn't think Modern Warfare did. That's just how I feel.
Well, and I kind of agree in the in the way that Modern Warfare 2 is flashy, and I really like the point that you made where it's like Modern Warfare 1, the very like Call of Duty 4 was
Yeah.
was a very like contained, this is kind of a secret type thing. And Modern Warfare 2 was like these secrets are having consequences and it's blowing up to the whole world. I actually liked that like observation a lot. And
Mhm.
I feel like Modern Warfare 2, the reason it works is because it is flashy on rails, like it's a Call of Duty game, but it's just trying to be that type of Michael Bay-esque like crazy movie. And so it does it really well, and it feels fun to play and stuff. And so I really like Modern Warfare 2's campaign. And even though I did like Modern Warfare 2019's campaign, it just felt at odds with itself. But it felt like the best Call of Duty that I've played yet. Still, I still play the multiplayer even though Cold War's out. Cold War sucks though. And then
That's awful.
Cold War's
Awful.
so bad. And then I am yeah, I'm a big fan of it, even though its campaign kind of fell flat, at least in its like in the story it wanted to tell. But the gameplay was
Mhm.
still fun and stuff. So yeah, I like them both.
I
But
think I was all right. It's a
I,
good place to start wrap it up.
yeah, I
So what
mean
I mean,
this was
what do you
pretty
want to
this was pretty
continue?
good. This was our first episode. Regardless of if people watch or not, I'm sure that we'll
Let's
try to at least
continue.
do a couple more just to keep this little audio journal going. So if you are
Yeah,
listening, thanks for stopping by, and maybe watch the next. See you.
yeah. Peace out.